Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Hmm. Dun 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 dun. You love to see it! Dennis the Menace, that's the theme tune, and that is the theme of this video. I do not believe my eyes. Do not scratch your eyes. You are really seeing a Watford victory away from home to Aston Villa. We've done the double on the villains. I absolutely love it. Absolutely brilliant. What a performance from Watford. That is how to bounce back from not winning since November. Oh my goodness gracious me. Fantastic, fantastic stuff. You love to see it. It's as simple as that. So we'll talk you briefly through that first half. I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. We walk together, we're walking down the street, and I just can't seem to get enough of dum 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 dum. When I'm with you, baby, I go out of my head, and I just can't get enough, and I just can't get enough. All the things you do to me and everything you said, I just can't get enough, I just can't get enough. We slip and slide as we fall in love, and I just can't seem to get enough of dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. We walk together, we're walking down the street, and I just can't get enough, and I just can't get enough. Every time I think of you, I know we have to meet, and I just can't get enough, and I just can't get enough. It's getting harder, it's a burning love, and I just can't seem to get enough of dum 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 dum. I just can't get enough. And when it rains, you're shining down for me, and I just can't get enough, and I just can't get enough. Just like a rainbow, you know you set me free, and I just can't get enough, and I just can't get enough. You're like an angel when you give me your love, and I just can't seem to get enough. I just can't seem to get enough, just can't seem to get enough. Brilliant. I want to sing all night. I want to have a karaoke, because that was huge. What a massive victory. And not just a victory, but our second clean sheet in 4 games under Hodgson. And we've done the double against Villa, beating them 3-2 on the first day of the season at home to Villa. And look, that Villa team was very different to the Villa team that is here today. Very different manager for Watford as well, Xisco Munoz. That was a effort of passion and drive that we started the season with. And we've shown that passion today through a much more difficult circumstance of a season. That, my friends, if we are going to stay up, now I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm also not saying it's likely, but I am going to say if we have any chance, which, you know, the odds are against us, we're still 18th, but we've gone up from 19th to 18th, so massive. The thing is that Burnley needing to lose today didn't happen, but if we do showing some consistent performances like that, where we're battling as a team. We've not said that so often this season. It's been individuals, it's been a lack of togetherness and a lack of willingness to basically put your body on the line and get stuck into the fight.
But today, we saw that in abundance. And that is brilliant to see. So, despite Storm Eunice, we got through the storm. We fought our way through to victory. And, it's a massive scoop to beat Villa. I honestly felt we were going to get battered today. And Villa recently haven't been great, but you still have to go there and win. You still have to look defensively solid. Villa have been pretty poor today, but we've defensively looked so up for it. And, any threats the Villa have put into the box, trying to get back in the game, we've headed it away bravely and defiantly. And that is why Samir and Cathcart are the best centre-back pairing, for sure. Shame to see Samir go off, obviously, with that head injury. Cabaselli came on. Cabaselli actually got a head injury as well. Just unbelievable. What are the chances? But look, hopefully Samir can be back for Palace, because we looked so much more solid today, and I hope we can carry that into our home games, because the home games are really the games we need to get points over the line, especially in the matches like Palace that, all right, you could win that easily, but you could also lose it. Palace are a good team, and recently Palace have been drawing a lot of games, right? Drew against Brentford, drew against Norwich, and also lost today against a good Chelsea side, but ultimately they need to carry this on, right? We saw it against Burnley, then West Ham, okay, really a good performance, just not the right result. And then Brighton, it all went to pot. So we've gone back to the sort of resilience that we showed against West Ham and the defensive solidity that we showed against Burnley and the goal that we showed against Newcastle, and we've put it all into one game. So hopefully that can be a big foundation point. And we've said this, we were hoping for a turning point. And hopefully, let's not count our chickens before they've hatched, but this hopefully is a good turning point for our season where, off the back of a great performance, not just a goal, our first under Hodgson, but also another clean sheet against a good attacking side, with players like Lucas Digne, Ollie Watkins obviously didn't start today, Danny Ings came off the bench and started the match, and Coutinho as well, Buendia. We kept all of these players quiet, so it's a massive, massive result for us down the bottom, and you just love to see it, really. Now, Burnley beating Brighton 3-0, you don't love to see that. Brighton, what are you on about? You play really well when we play you, and then as soon as we don't play you, you play awful. That's not useful, okay? We also saw Newcastle, crucially, they did, of course, get no 3 points, but at least they were held. It's just frustrating that West Ham couldn't win that game, but, it is what it is. And then Norwich. I mean, I thought we were going to have the worst weekend of results when they went ahead again at Anfield with a jammy Rashica goal. But luckily, Liverpool turned that around and beat them 3-1. So, yeah, honestly, so happy and so happy about that result. So, just talking through that first half, I mean, I think there's this like balance we've got to get, right? Because before this Villa game, it was, we're all going down, so much pessimism, and you understood why there was pessimism, because we were playing utter garbage. And still, let's not get carried away. From an attacking point of view today, we weren't great. We really weren't. But the key thing is we stuck in there. And Joshua King, you got to feel for him, right? Because at this point, he is having chance after chance. Well, not really that, but not enough chances. And then when he does, he just doesn't seem to be having that clinical edge. And I get that he's working hard. He really is. He did some amazing work in the build-up to that Dennis goal, because he flicked it on brilliantly for Loser, who then cut inside, crossed it to the right-hand side. A brilliant touch from Ismail Assar, brought it down perfectly. And that is the delivery we've been missing from Ismail Assar. I mean, that is fantastic. What a great game Sarr had today, coming back in for his first start since that injury in November. And look, what can you say? When Sarr starts games, we win. He started against Manchester United, albeit missing 2 penalties, but a fantastic goal to, bounce back from that moment. A bit of redemption there. But then, sorry. Ignore me there. Someone just accidentally basically bum dialed, I think. Anyway, what I was saying was, yeah, Sarr was that missing quality that we've not had recently, but he showed it again today. He got the goal against United, got the assist today, and what a cross. Can I just say, though, great team goal, right? The way we break, and I was saying this in the first half, I think if you didn't already catch it, do check my first half review, but our tactic was so simple from a corner. In the first half, when Villa had corners, we were defending And then when we would receive the ball after Villa misplaced a corner, we would just hoof it. We were not ever thinking, let's actually break and make an attack from this out of Villa's attack. But second half, that seemed to change. We looked so much more threatening on the break. I mean, I've got to say, first half, we looked the better team. Second half, again, looked the better team. So it was a deserved result. And just how well we defended, really, really impressed today. That's just what we want to see, that commitment, every, hand to the pump, so to speak. And Cathcart was absolutely superb all game. So he is a big contender for man of the match for sure. I mean, it's not like we didn't have chances. We could have scored more today. Certainly we could have scored before that goal from Emmanuel Dennis. The first half, though, you got to say, started slowly and you kind of thought, oh, Villa, they could get comfortable here. But ultimately, the first 20 or 30 minutes, we were decent. Not enough chances, really, that we were creating, but still, Villa were doing even less. And then the last 10 or so minutes of the first half, Villa started to crank up a few more shots, but none of them on target. We saw Ramsey blaze over. Danny Ings hit the post. That was a nervy moment. Maybe we just slightly survived that one. But ultimately, not a lot of chances for Watford in that first half. Apart from that chance for Dennis, that fantastic play from Ismail Assar, and a strong shot from Dennis after some really good dribbling. It was just exactly like the Everton game against Michael Keane. Sat him down and did the same thing to Callum Chambers. But unfortunately, his shot was saved by Martinez. Then in the second half, we really looked good. Villa, again, starting to kind of get a bit more possession, trying to fill their way into the game. But we were just looking so much more confident. And I don't know where that confidence has come from, but well done, Roy and Ray. That's all I'm going to say, because it would have been hard to pick them up from that Brighton game because it was a bit of a dispiriting one. So, yeah, absolutely delighted with that. Absolutely buzzing. I mean, we probably won't do a double against any other team this season, right? Because we've already played Norwich twice. We've already played Newcastle. No, we didn't beat Newcastle the first time. No, we've already played... we haven't played Man United second time around. So you never know if United have an off day, but we're unlikely at Old Trafford. So we've beaten Villa. We've beaten Norwich. We've beaten Man United. Oh, Everton, I suppose, is the other one. So Everton at home, fingers crossed, after how they played today, that should hopefully be a bit of a 6-pointer because they were poor against Southampton. But ultimately, going back to Watford, really, really good in the second half. And we looked like we were just very careful. And this is what we've done recently. It's stay in the game and see if we can do something from our attack. And that execution of that plan worked to the perfect degree today from Roy and Ray. So all credit to them. Second half, we had chances. I'm not going to lie. I was getting worried that we were going to get punished, and by not taking our chances, Villa would score late. But, a chance for Sissoko. And you kind of just think, really, Sissoko? Why has it got to be him finishing that chance? But anyway, really good build-up again from Watford. Fantastic ball out. And we spray it wide, and it comes out to Sissoko. It's a really good ball into the box, but Sissoko, man, you gotta get it across. Like he decides to go near post when really there was more space for King at the back post, and he should have passed and crossed it back in. But still, good passage of play from Watford, which we saw none of that against Brighton. It was basically no real chances created other than that Dennis one that hit the crossbar. But actually now, it's not just one player doing it all. It's players getting involved to help each other out and create chancing opportunities and scoring opportunities, I should say. So yeah, that was a real chance. You thought maybe that's unfortunately a bit of a chance wasted. And then Cleverley had an opportunity that he hit fairly well, but unfortunately just straight at Martinez, who was able to parry it. But then a chance for Dennis, and you thought this was a real chance. I mean, we were looking so good in the second half. It's got to be said, so good. And oh, sorry, I say Dennis. That was the goal. No, so I've talked through the goal. I mean, the cross from Saul is brilliant, but that header, fantastic. We saw Dennis score in the reverse fixture, his debut goal in the Premier League, and what a way it was, right? And it's the same two that combine. Sarr in for Dennis, and on the first occasion, Konza blocked it. Second occasion, he slots it under Martinez's body. This time, it's a cross in from Sarr, and he just towers above those Villa centre-backs. He makes his own, and that's what we want to see. We want to see some, commitment. If you're going to get hit in the head okay, so be it. Let's just try and go for it. So fantastic from Emmanuel Dennis, and he has been our star player. I called it back in August, right? Everyone doubted me with Emmanuel Dennis. They were like, no, he's a waste of money. He's got attitude problems. And I was like, telling you, this is going to be the next Odion Igalo from that first 15-16 season. He's going to do bits. No one believed me, and look what he's done. He's been our star man, and he has just been so fantastic. And good at headering as well. Really good bullet header of the ball. So yeah, fantastic. But the other chance I was going to say was Joshua King instead of Dennis. So yeah, like I say, King works so hard, and you've got to appreciate that hard work. But as a striker, your job is to score goals. It's kind of like Firmino and Lacazette in a way. It's like Lacazette and Firmino don't really get goals, but what they do is work hard for the team, and kind of like they're really good at allowing other players to come into play, and off the ball they try and hold it up and bring other players into the game. That's exactly what King is trying to do. But really, as a striker who scored a lot of goals in his time at Bournemouth, he should be more of a central man. But because you've got Dennis there, who has been absolutely superb, you have to play him really in the far regions of that top of the pitch. So therefore, to play him on the left in a bit more of an indented winger position would almost make him too wide and not enough central, because we know how good Dennis is at headering the ball. So really, it's almost like there's not enough space for two men to rock the system. And that's why with the 4-4-2, it's good, but it also means you're kind of not really playing a 4-4-2. You're playing a 4-4-1-1 in a way, which sounds weird, but it kind of is, because Dennis, he's confident enough to be that kind of front forward striker, and King is more of a supporting striker. But as I say with King, he just needs that break. He needs that goal to go in, because it is so frustrating to watch. We know he's got talent, but when you're on a barren run like this, he's not got an attacking contribution since the Leicester game, where a goal since the Leicester game, I should say. But it's been such a long wait for any kind of return. I think he got an assist all the way back at I don't even know. It feels a while ago, but the point I'm saying is that was a chance for King, because it was pulled back really well from Watford, and to be honest, I think this is a kind of chance he should be taking. But it comes at him quite quickly. I think it's pulled back by Kiko Femenino, I do believe, and it comes at him, and he's just one of those ones where any striker that's scored a few this season would put that in the back of the net, but because he's not scored for so long, he kind of just, I don't know, I don't think panic is the right word, but he doesn't really appreciate how hard he's got to hit it from there. And he unfortunately can only get it in the direction that he wants to put it, and straight into Martinez, and he parries it. But it's unlucky, as I say, it did get drilled at him. But there's only so much time that King can keep on not scoring. So we need to tidy up in that department. But just going through the lineup today, and we'll do a quick man of the match ratings basically for each of the players today. I thought Ben Foster had a really good game. He didn't get troubled by a lot, but I just thought in terms of his distribution, his leadership today, I thought he was very, very good. So, I mean, yeah, I love Dennis's celebration, by the way, as well. You got to love it. It's like, that's exactly what you want to see. I think it's one of the celebrations on FIFA, and yeah, it's absolutely class. But Dennis the Menace back again with a goal, and it's been a long wait, right? We haven't scored a football goal in the Premier League since 15th of January. So just over a month later, we score and get a win. Our first win since November. And not just November, but November the 20th. Wow. It's a whole 3 months down the line. I mean, you just never would have predicted it after that kind of Man United game. But since then, we have slumped big time. And that's why Ranieri has gone. But I honestly hope that the boys really use this as a foundation. I'm not saying we win definitely against Palace, because it won't be easy, right? They did lose today, but they're a good side. What I will say is we want to show that kind of performance again. We really want to take this now and use it as a springboard. We've said this a few times, right? We saw it against Everton, didn't use it as a springboard. We saw it against United, didn't use it as a springboard. And even against Norwich, right? We had Norwich away, you thought, yes, this is the start of our season. We were awful against Newcastle. So really, this is where we need to go on from here. And I honestly feel like the team today just put their body on the line. We saw that with Cavaselli right at the end, going in for the challenges, heading it away. So fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Can I just say as well, bang on Roy and Ray with the team selection today. Really, really good. I liked it a lot because it was exactly what I was thinking. I mean, you had to keep the back four the same because they're just solid. Kamara has been fantastic in a Watford shirt since he's come from Nice, and he wasn't ideal in the game against Brighton just because he wasn't able to stop Lamptey with those crosses. But today he looked again very decent, and I thought maybe a bit unlucky with the yellow card, but I suppose it's fair enough. Samir again fantastic, and it's a really shame. I hope he's not injured too badly. But Cathcart was immense, and I honestly feel like he did the simple things well, and that's what Cleverley and Cathcart can often do, but sometimes that's not the case with those more senior players. Femenia, again, decent today. Ismail Assar, what a cross from that goal. Again, got booked, and I was kind of like, oh, okay. But, still, very, very good. On his first start, he gets an assist and really looked a threat all game. And you got to say, gave Luca Dean a lot of problems. And Cleverley, not the best of games, but as I say, had that chance that was saved by Martinez. Looked decent enough. I mean, it's a weird thing, really, because we're playing a 4-4-2, so we're trying to be compact, but that means we have to have a midfielder, a central midfielder on the left in a 4-4-2 formation. It is odd. But look, that's just the way it is, right? We're not really feeling Samuel Callow at the minute. He's been on the bench for about 2 or 3 games now and still not come on. So he's going to be frustrated, and he has been a bit like with Dennis back at Club Brugge and with Bordeaux in the past. He's had some attitude problems, so let's not aggravate him too much by not playing him. But at the same time, he's a good option when we want to get a bit more attacking. But under this way of playing, we had to strip things back, and it's been successful today. I thought Imran Louza looked much more comfortable in the midfield. Although, there was moments where he would give the ball away, but I honestly feel like we are in much safer hands with him there rather than Kutzka. That was the only slight dilemma, was it? We play Cleverley or play Kayembe? We went for Cleverley. I'm not sure it made too much difference, but ultimately it's decent enough, I suppose. I mean, oh my gosh, Man City have already conceded? Wow. Son Heung-min assists Kulusevski. This Premier League, you just can't even bother to predict it. It is just a joke. Anyway, the point I was saying was very, very decent from Louza. Sissoko, as I say, missed that opportunity that really should have been taken, but he's still midfield. He's so good at marshalling it and getting stuck in. And King, as I mentioned, just works hard, just cannot score to save his life. But you got to praise the effort at the end of the day when all's said and done. And Emmanuel, just legend, absolute legend. Love the celebration, love the goal. That is massive, absolutely massive. So yeah, we do go up to 18th place. We are currently above Norwich and above Burnley, who are now both on 17. But Norwich were originally, but Burnley getting the win there puts them 3 points up on 17 points. So it's getting tight at the bottom of the table now. 18 points for us. That is massive, considering where we were. I didn't expect it at all. But it's interesting now. Everton, they have got a game in hand, which is the slight caveat. But, Newcastle and us have played the same games. Hopefully, fingers crossed, after that game against West Ham, that Newcastle can keep losing. And then we can have a way out of this. But look, really, really positive. It might not be reflected by the fact we're still in the bottom 3, but we're getting closer. And that is something that is not was not looking likely. I'm not saying we're getting closer to safety. I'm just saying we're getting closer to having any chance of being in a relegation fight. So thank you, Watford. Really, really good win. But like I say, let's not count our chickens before they've hatched. Let's go into that Palace game with the same approach, stay in it, try and make it tight and nervy, and try and get a goal at home as well. You got to put more onus on going for it, which we didn't do enough against Brighton. And against Palace, well, they have been a little bit sloppy recently. And against Brighton, we were far too, in my opinion, conservative in the first half. Although we did go for it in the second, it was too late by then. So I'm not saying completely take the handbrake down, because we know we cannot afford to do that. We are still a fragile defence. But hopefully, with a clean sheet in that last game, let's hope we are a bit more of a threat to Palace, and we can get that balance right. So yeah, really good stuff. Cucho came on, didn't do a lot, to be honest, didn't get really given the time to do a lot, and Ken Sema as well came on for Ismaila. So yeah, absolutely loving that for sure. I am buzzing with that result. So I'm not going to lie, people. I feel good. I feel good. I think it was Emmanuel Dennis that maybe came off for Kalu, but either way, Dennis, what a goal. I'm very tempted to give you man of the match, but just because of how colossal he was at the back, it's got to be, hasn't it? Craigie boy Cathcart. He's been here since the beginning, and that, my friends, was an old-fashioned victory against a good team managed by a good manager. So you have got to love it, and we are going into that Palace game off the back of a win for so long. Hopefully, that can only be good news. Come on, you Horns. What a result.